Welcome, everybody. The NFL regular season is over, which means it's time to look forward to the NFL offseason. I'm Joe with the Game House. Today we'll be doing the Los Angeles Chargers NFL mock draft. Okay, so the Chargers are up on our NFL mock draft series. Be sure to follow along as we go through every NFL team. We'll probably go through each team twice before we get to the NFL draft. Chargers have a new head coach, Jim Harbaugh. They're trying to shake things up, maybe get more physical. That could change how they draft as well. Now, as a reminder, we're going to use the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. I like it because it meshes all the big boards from the internet together to make their big board. There'll still be some unrealistic guys who fall in this mock draft. That's how it goes with these simulators. We will also be declining all trades as we go along because it's just not realistic. We see some of these trades on these mock draft simulators you might see on Twitter, and some guys are getting first-round picks, and they're just pushing through trades. It's still too early for that, so let's just get started. They have pick number 5 here to start. There's a lot of mock drafts that have them taking a wide receiver, possibly Brock Bowers at tight end. I think if I'm in their position, I'm going to go Brock Bowers, and I think what might happen here is Jim Harbaugh has liked using offenses with tight ends in the past. They just took a wide receiver last year. Quentin Johnson didn't really play the best last year, but I think you can get a tight end who can help the offense right away. He's more of a offline tight end than an inline tight end, but one of the best tight ends we've seen in recent years. He can still block too, so I think Harbaugh will like that. Maybe they get some more out of him than maybe people would have expected. All right, that takes us to the second round pick here. We have pick number 37. There's tons of different options we can go with here. They could beef up the offensive line. They could get that wide receiver that they didn't get in the first round. It is a deep wide receiver class, so they can get guys like these guys right here, Ladd McConkey and Adonai Mitchell, who could slide out of the first round but still be impact players. You can go corner. You can help that defense, defensive line. Leonard Taylor would be good. I think I'm gonna go Ladd McConkey. I think he can play inside or out. That helps you with Keenan Allen, who could also play inside or out. You could have Mike Williams on the outside. You could have Quentin Johnston on the outside. I get that they probably will only take a receiver if it's the 5th pick because that's a premium position and that's what they're getting. But you have a couple picks to work with here, and Jim Harbaugh is going to want to build a team of his guys. I think they could go Ladd McConkey, who I think I'm going to be higher on the consensus, but he's pretty highly ranked here as well, so maybe not. All right, next pick, we have pick number 69 here. Again, just plenty of options to help with this team. I think I'm going to go Mason Smith out of LSU. Really want to help that run defense and the interior defensive line for the Chargers. One thing that is underrated about Jim Harbaugh's time at Michigan is he built that defensive line up very, very well, and that really helped them. If a guy like Chris Jenkins, who he coached at Michigan's there, he might go with him. It might go with him earlier than many expected, but at some point he's going to want to beef up the defensive line. Next one up, let's go Audric Estime out of Notre Dame, a powerful runner, a guy who runs faster than you would want or that you would expect for a guy that huge, a bruising running back that Jim Harbaugh might like using in this new offense. Let's see what we got here at pick number 138. I think I'm going to go. Let's go with Christian Jones out of Texas. He's doing okay at the Senior Bowl from everything I've seen so far. Right tackle prospect, but I think he can be pretty good. Jim Harbaugh is going to want to get the offensive line going too. Their offensive line won a bunch of Joe Moore awards for the best offensive line in college football over his time here. It's only one defensive player, but I think Jim Harbaugh might start with the offense. That's where he made his bread and butter, and then you can go and get some of these defensive players later on. It'd be tempting for him to take Ladarius Henderson, his interior lineman from Michigan last year. But there are some corners here, and that has been a position we have neglected. Nehemiah Pritchett has been on NFL draft boards for the last couple of years. His stock hasn't really gone up since he's appeared on those lists, but he does have plenty of experience in the SEC and can maybe help you out on special teams to start. As you're at pick 182, you may not get a starter there right away. We'll keep on moving along here. Let's go Xavier Thomas, the edge out of Clemson. I don't think he ever really reached his full potential at Clemson. Maybe Jim Harbaugh can be a guy who can maybe get the most out of him at the next level. We saw that again with a lot of defensive linemen at Michigan who are maybe not as ranked as high as some of the ones at Clemson, and their defensive line at Michigan was really, really good the past couple of years. All right, so the last pick that they're going to have, 255, we can kind of go with a couple different options here. I'm going to go with J.D. Bertrand out of Notre Dame. He's also been having a good Senior Bowl, running all over the place, and gives them a guy who can play special teams for him at the very least. So let's recap here. Brock Bowers, a tight end. Again, you have those 3 wide receivers. They might take a wide receiver and kind of bump Quentin Johnston out of the way, just whatever Jim Harbaugh really prefers here. I think he might like a tight end that he can utilize. We saw the 4 tight ends who were in conference championship weekend were very, very good. So maybe it is a sign to get your tight end while you can. Ladd McConkey, the wide receiver out of Georgia, could play inside or out. That kind of helps with the flexibility of this offense, while also having Keenan Allen as well, who can do the same thing. Mason Smith, the defensive lineman from LSU, really can help that run defense. Audric Estime can make a more powerful running game for this team. Christian Jones can help the offensive line depth. Nehemiah Pritchett, same thing with corner there. Xavier Thomas, we'll see if we can get more out of him in the NFL. And then J.D. Bertrand, the linebacker at Notre Dame, who could maybe help out with special teams to start his NFL career. So that's the draft. Let me know what you think of the picks in the comments below. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.